market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And you can, if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And you can, if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And you can, if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And you can, if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And you can, if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And you can, if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And you can, if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And you can, if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And you can, if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And you can, if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And you can, if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And you can, if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is open.
Citizens of Biafra, greetings from here. Good morning. From Biafra Republic government in Ezra, headquarters in Baltimore, Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. Congratulations, my fellow citizens of Biafra, that you have demonstrated once more readiness for your freedom. You have demonstrated that your freedom is in your hand. Your freedom is not in the hand of any illegitimate governor or politician of Nigeria terrorist state. The Biafran people have overwhelmingly today demonstrated that by sitting at home, civil disobedient, denouncing the current situation they found themselves, that they are not part of Nigerian terrorist state. Nigeria is a terrorist state. It's a fraudulent country. Nigeria is a scam. Our freedom is in our hand. My fellow citizens, your freedom is in your hand. Your freedom is not in the hand of Soludo. Your freedom is not in the hand of Oti. Your freedom is not in the hand of Mba. Your freedom is not in the hand of Ozadima. All these illegitimate governors parading themselves in Biafra land today, your freedom is not in your hand. It's not in their hand. Your freedom is your own hand. And today, you have demonstrated again that the power belongs to the people. Today, you have demonstrated that the power belongs to Biafran people. You have demonstrated once more that the power don't belong to Soludo, that the power don't belong to all these illegitimate governors or the occupier of our land. The government of Biafra is government of the people. Without the people, there is no government. Congratulations once more. Thank you very much for your readiness, for your freedom. The world is watching from Washington, D.C. to the Middle East, to all four corners of the earth. They are watching. And we also want to send a strong warning and message to the evil man called Soludo. Soludo marked some Biafran's market in Anambra, former Anambra, marked their market to be sealed or demolished. Soludo, stop hurting the Biafran people. Stop killing the Biafran people. Unseal the market of Biafrans. The Biafran people will hold you accountable. We want to let the entire world know and also hear the Biafran people's voice and their cry for their freedom. The Biafran people's freedom is in their hand, not in the hand of the illegitimate governor called Soludo. Unseal the Biafran people market. Unseal their businesses. Soludo don't have the right to seal Biafran's business shops or business. Why in the northern part of Nigeria, the Islamic jihadist terrorists are being protected by the governors of the northern part of Nigeria. The Islamic jihadist terrorist state of Nigeria is protecting the terrorists all over Nigeria, especially in the northern part. Why Soludo choose to be a terrorist over Biafrans? Why Soludo is terrorizing the people of Biafra? Soludo will be held accountable when it happens. No one should blame the Biafran people. When it happens, when Biafra will start to hold all these evil saboteurs accountable, no one should blame the Biafran people. He just proved he is illegitimate governor. He's working for the Nigerian terrorist state. My people of Anambra, come together against this monster called Soludo and document all this atrocity. We need every evidence. I am Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S, Prime Minister of Biafra Republic Government in Ezra, will be presenting to the Washington, D.C., lawmakers in Washington, D.C., to the leader of the free world, will present all the atrocity committed by Soludo to the leader of the free world, United States of America. Congress will look into this. He's violating your human rights. He's causing you economic jihad. We must hold Soludo accountable. All four corners of the earth, people are fighting for freedom. The African people, wake up! Enough is enough. Soludo was for me. On my product shop. On your making shop. On your idea as well. Maybe I'm working here. Teach him a lesson. Stand up. Biafra, Kuliano. Before me, I go, Piobo. Wake up. Where are all the billionaires, traders in Indonesia? Will you allow this one monster terrorist Soludo to destroy your livelihood? What you work for years? He don't feed you. He don't take care of you. Since how many years he paraded himself as a governor? No electricity, no running water. Just yesterday, there is fire outbreak in the same Manisha. No fire ambulance, no security, nothing. We Biafrans deserve a better life. We deserve to choose what kind of government we want. The government of Nigeria has disappointed the Biafran people. We are sick of this nonsense. We want our freedom back, and we must be free. Nobody born of a woman will stop the freedom of Biafran people. Teach him a lesson. Stop him before will kill us all. Mobilize yourself. Resist this evil monster. Resist him. Congratulations once more to my fellow citizens of Biafra for standing tall, for standing strong, for your freedom, for what you believe. Freedom is not given, it is taken. Once upon a time in history, United States of America, they take their freedom. Once upon a time in history, they fought very hard to get their freedom back. And the time in history of the Biafran people have come. It's time for us to also stand firm, resolute, to fight for our freedom, and we must be free. Just the same way America freed themselves from their oppression, the same way Biafra we free. We must be free. Biafran people, it's time we unite and fight this one common enemy. Biafran people, it's time we free ourselves from this bondage. Henceforth, from now moving forward, Mondays, henceforth, I repeat, from now moving forward, Mondays will be observed as Biafra Freedom Day until we totally liberate our land, until our Independence Day. Henceforth, from now moving forward, Mondays in Biafra land, Mondays in Biafra land, I repeat, will be Biafra Freedom Day. Every Monday, we will demonstrate our readiness, we will demonstrate we as free people. The power belongs to the people of Biafra. The power belongs to the people. Here in the United States of America, there is this beautiful saying that says, we, the people, we, the people, we, the people, we, the people, are the government. The power belongs to the people. The power don't belong to Soludo to dictate how the people will live. Remember, before any government official is elected into office, without the vote of the people, without the people, there is no government. The power belongs to you, the people of Biafra. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless Biafra Republic. And God bless United States of America, the leader of the free world. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We observe a minute silence to the fallen heroes of Biafra, and the time starts now. We mourn our heroes past, we celebrate them, and our heroes living as we continue to fight on to the full restoration of Biafra. Ise, 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 Ise. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Greetings to all Biafrans, and you're all welcome to this very late hour broadcast. But it is necessary that no matter how late it is, the broadcast must go on. Salutations to our leaders that have lived before us, and salutations to our leaders in prison, and salutations to the BDF, the Biafran people, both home and abroad, and most especially to Biafran people in the homeland who have expressed their unalloyed support and their resilience, their formidability, and their strong stand, their determination and focus for Biafra and on Biafra. I salute you all. And to Biafrans in diaspora and in the homeland who are supporting the Biafra freedom financially, I salute all of you. And I thank you all. And I pray for God to give you more strength and more financial enablement so that you can do more. Yes. When you think that the voice of our leaders in prison, whether Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or Mazi Simon Eba, can stop Biafra, you make a very big mistake. And when you think that the voice of BDF personnel can stop the freedom or stop Biafra or stop sit at home, you make a very big mistake. We want Nigerian terrorist government to understand one thing. The AI voice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu of 2026, AI voice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu of 2026, that was read like a speech by BDF personnel. It was a testament, and it has now been confirmed to all of you that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, his voice, while he is still in prison, while he is still a prisoner for Nigeria, his voice cannot stop Biafra. His voice cannot stop the sit at home. The only thing that can stop Biafra and stop us from talking is our total freedom. If we get our total freedom now, we are free people. But not his voice from inside prison. He's not a free man.
You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And you can, if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And you can, if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead.
Do you have appreciation for the sacrifice of the death? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not even dead, though. He's still alive. Mazi Nnamdi is not dead, he's still alive. The Biafra Defense Forces personnel that have died in the battlefield, do you have any regards or respect for them or for their lives? The Biafran babies, women, and children that are being slaughtered on daily basis by Nigerian government because of Biafra, do you have any respect and any regard for them? Okay. I see some people say this video or this voice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is old one. Okay. His voice is old one, Abi. If his voice is old one, is there anything that he said that is old, that is not happening now in Nigeria? I want somebody to point one thing that he said about Nigeria in his old video that is not happening now. I just want somebody to tell me, is there any old video of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, every pronouncement and prophecy that he said and made about Nigeria and against Nigeria and for Biafra and against Biafra, is there any of it that is not happening now as we speak? So, his past messages or past videos, they are happening now daily. That is why this one also is happening now daily. And when he spoke this one, he was a free man. So we only take him for his word when he is a free man, not when he is a prisoner. Mbano. Mbano. That is why when I play the video of Nelson Mandela, when he said, anybody that changes his policy because of who he is dealing with is not worthy to be a leader. I will disagree with Nelson Mandela. I will disagree with Nelson Mandela. Do you know why I will disagree with Nelson Mandela? I will disagree with Nelson Mandela because he is talking about a free man. He is not talking about a prisoner. So any free man, everybody should listen to, any free man that changes his policies because of those that he's dealing with is not worthy to be a leader. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not a free man. Nelson Mandela, when he was talking that message, he was talking as a free man. He was not talking as a prisoner. I'm going to play the message now because I want our people to understand something so that they will know where we are and where we are going to and what is likely to happen. Because we have told you several times that they are going to use your emotions to work on the next stage of Biafra freedom. Against you, or for you, or to destroy your formidability. They have to make use of your emotions You have to check where your emotions is attached to. That is why you have to see that they had to go and bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Not even his voice, so is a write-up. The same write-up is what a man powerless is posting. And then I look at it, I laugh. The same write-up is what Kanu Kanu is posting. And then I look at it, I laugh. The same write-up is what Ejimako is posting. You people understand that these are the people that wrote letter and signed documents, IPOB DOS. Chinasa Nwoshi, Kanu Kanu, Ejiofor, and more of the lawyers there, of the legal team of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, plus Emmanuel Meme, then the wife of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and all the DOS members. They wrote letter and then submitted to the European Commission. They tried the same letter in America and it flopped. Then when they see that there is a weak continent that loves corruption so much and it is easily exploitable, they found it in European Commission. So they sent the letter to the European Commission. And they put in the letter, they said, any Biafran that is fighting under or aligning or identifying with the government of BRGIA, that they should do what? They should kidnap the person and then throw the person into prison. They should send the person to where he came from because he's not fighting for Biafra, that is a criminal, he's a fraudster.
Of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And you can, if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead.
You have no appreciation for the sacrifice of the dead. The BDF that are dying in the battlefield every day because of Biafra, who are putting their lives on the line. Your mothers, your fathers, your wives and children, your siblings have been killed by Nigerian government. You all confess with your mouth. Because of what? Biafra. Kanu Kanu. Ejimako. No wonder you don't see Ejimako posting anything that BRGI is doing to the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Every work that you are doing in Washington, D.C., you will not say Ejimako post it. These are the same people that jubilated 2 weeks ago when they saw Biafrans do sit at home in Anambra, and they kick against Soludo. They kick against Soludo. Overnight, they now become Soludo friend. They now speak in favor of Soludo. That sit at home must be cancelled in favor of Soludo. Chai! Hello, Mero. Hello, Mero. They want sit at home to be cancelled in favor of Soludo. You people can now go and do AI version voice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu of 2026. That is what I have not even touched that video yet. That video of BDF speaking AI of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu 2026 version. Maybe I just want to give it time first. Later, I will bring the video in. Not today, not tomorrow. I'll bring it in when it is time. But let that video continue to trend first. But today's message from Biafran people have made all of you to understand that not the voice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, not the voice of Mazi Simon inside prison can stop Biafra sit at home or can stop Biafra. No. We know the reason why you people kidnap these leaders. We know the reason why you pick them up and lock them up. It is to use them as collateral because of our emotional attachment to them. You want to use them as collateral to end Biafra. We will all come out and then we say, we love them, we can't do without them. BDF will come out and say, they are the only leaders we have. We don't have another person. We can kill everybody for them. And they will show emotional attachment. And that shows a sign of weaknesses from a defense force of a country. When your leader is in incarceration, and then the enemies use that your leader to strike a deal and tell you that with that your leader that they have in detention, you must hands down your weapons. You must stop fighting for Biafra henceforth. And then you fall for it. Chai, hello, Mero. So that means if they tell you now that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S says he's not fighting for Biafra again, all of you will lay down your arms and go back into the bush. It means you were not fighting for Biafra, you were fighting for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If Mazi Simon Ekpa tells you today, I denounce Biafra, all of you will lay down your arms and go into the bush, or you go and join Nigerian army. You go and join Nigerian police. It means you were not fighting for Biafra. You were fighting for Mazi Simon Ekpa. Biafra is not for Mazi Simon Ekpa. Biafra is not for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is the same thing that all of you have been professing with your mouth. And say that, please, these people that are calling, stop calling. This is not time to call, please. I will block these numbers. I will block these numbers if you continue to call. Don't distract me. This is not time for calls. And I will block these numbers if you continue to call. This is not time for any call. This is time for business of the day. When we are out of the business of the day, you can call any call. Not now, don't call. And you guys have made me to put my phone now in a do not disturb mode. If business money is going to come in now, I will not get it because of your distraction. So be careful, please. There is time for everything. A time to be serious and a time not to look face. I did not come for Biafra to look people's faces. And I don't owe anybody any apology. And I'm not inside the pocket of anybody. Nobody controls my mind for Biafra. As far as I know that what we are doing is going forward, not taking us backward or blocking us halfway. Because every decision we take determines where we are going and how we are moving. This is one thing you need to understand. If your leader is in chains and they point gun on his head, they now use him as a collateral. This is one thing you need to understand. If it was about just 5 of you, you know that this is a 5-man show. And it is a group. It's a 5-man show thing. It's a group thing. It is very different. But when it has to do with a nation, when it has to do with the life of over 80 million, it is not a group thing again. It is not a cabal thing. It is not a family business thing. No, it is the integrity and the life of over 80 million people. And you don't play with it. If you play with it, you are jeopardizing the entirety of human race. These are the things you need to consider and understand. So, if it was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu with a few of you that made up this group, When they point gun on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or Mazi Simon Ekpa's head and say, put down your guns, back down. You can put down and then you give up because they have used one of amongst five to destroy the rest of you. And I am telling you all today, if gun is put on my head tomorrow and then they say because of Biafra, and I happen to be the asunder because I am in prison, then they put gun on my head. And then they say because of me, they put gun on my head. All of you should hands down, do not move forward. I am telling you to move forward. I am not better than those that have died for freedom and babies, women, and children that are being butchered every day. Do not put down your weapons. Continue to go forward. They blow my brains up does not change the fact that they will come and kill all of you. One brain of me blown off is not better than hundreds and millions of all of you. So I'm sounding this warning today. If I am held down and they are to blow my brains off and they use it as collateral and say all of you should put your arms down, don't put your arms down. Move on. Ignore me and move on. Because it is not about me, it is about the freedom of every man. We signed for it the day we put our legs and hands in Biafra, and then we understand that it is a dangerous affair and that anything can happen at any times. We've gone through many things already, so I don't know if there is anything that we'll go through tomorrow now that will seem different. Are we the first people to be called terrorists because of fighting for independence? Was Nelson Mandela not called more than that? Even Nnamdi Azikiwe that decided to represent Nigeria and UK government, was he not later called a terrorist? But Nelson Mandela maintained his stand. His people continue in formidability and consistency. At the end of the day, he came out victorious and they carried the mantle, and South Africa is a free country today. That is why when some of you run away from Nigeria to go to South Africa, South African people are killing you and sending you out of their country. They have the right because you are not ready to fight for your own freedom, for your own country to be better. Nobody wants to die so that others will come to enjoy. Everybody wants to live. Nobody wants to sacrifice his own life so that it will be written that it was because of you that died that this sacrifice was made and the freedom finally came. No. But you want to run, to go to South Africa, to go and enjoy the sacrifice that South African people did. That is what you want to do. So South African people will sacrifice for themselves with their blood and their money and their generations. Do you know how many people that died during that time? Do you know how many people that died in the South African war? Can you compare the number to that of Biafrans? Did they continue to fight? Yes. Did they lose men and women? Yes. Was there consistency? Yes. Were there divisions in splinter groups coming out? Yes, they were. But they persevered. They continued to persevere. And they moved on. They fought. They went on. They fought until they got to the finishing line. Today, South Africa is the place that many of you want to run and then go to South Africa to go and enjoy the blood of South Africans that was shed and sacrificed for their own redemption. It was not sacrificed for your own redemption as a Biafran or as a Nigerian. No. It was sacrificed for the redemption of South Africans. South Africans sacrificed with their own blood, not with the blood of a Biafran, not with the blood of a Nigerian. When they were fighting their war, you were not there to fight for them. You did not take bullet for them. They took bullet for themselves. They took bullet for their babies, women, and children that later come to be. That is why you speak of South Africa today. You want to go there. All of you are running out of Nigeria. You're traveling to South Africa. The same thing in America. The same thing in India and China and Korea, Japan, everywhere in the world. They took a stand. They pulled the trigger to fight for themselves. But you want to run and leave your own land and abandon it for Soludo. You want to run, leave Nigeria and abandon it for Fulani terrorists to take over. Then you want to run to go and hide in another man's country where another man fought with his own blood to sustain their own freedom. This Yochi. So, listen very well. I said, when Nelson Mandela said, any man that changes his or her policies because of who he is dealing with is not worthy to be a leader. I said, I disagree with Nelson Mandela. Do you know why I disagree with him? Because that statement does not apply to our Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now. Do you know why? I want you to listen to our Mazi Nnamdi Kanu when he is a free man. Listen to this.
Anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And you can, if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And you can, if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And you can, if you don't sit at home.
Now, can you hear Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, our supreme leader, speaking now as a free man? That is him when he's speaking as a free man. At this very point, the message of Nelson Mandela can stand. Yes. So if he changes his policy at this time, the message of Nelson Mandela here can stand. Let me play the message of Nelson Mandela.
Many Jews, members of the Jewish community in our struggle, and they have occupied very top positions. But that does not mean to say that the enemies of Israel are our enemies. We refuse to take that position. You can call it being political or a moral question, but for anybody who changes his principles depending on whom he is dealing, that is not a man who can lead a nation. Body who changes his principles, question. But for anybody who changes his principles depending on whom he is dealing, that is not a man who can lead a nation. Question. But for anybody who changes his principles depending on whom he is dealing, that is not a man who can lead a nation.
For anybody who changes his principles, that is not a man who can lead a nation. And that only applies to a man who is free. As Nelson Mandela is saying this thing, he is saying it now that he's a free man and seated here. Could he have said it when he is in prison? Could he have said it when they chain him down? Because his voice does not count when he is in prison. His voice is useless when he is in prison because he's a prisoner. A prisoner cannot create any effect to free people. So anybody who changes his policies because of who he's dealing with, such a person cannot lead a nation. That only applies to a free man. This does not apply to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or Mazi Simon Ekpa that are in prison, that are in chains. Do you know why? Because they are prisoners. They are not free men. They are not walking free like you and I. So do you know who is to be blamed now? Who is to be blamed is you and I. Yes, you and I is to be blamed. Who decides to take messages from people that are in prison? So it is we now that this message of Nelson Mandela is applied to. Yes, if you are amongst the people that is taking message from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or Mazi Simon Ekpa from inside prison, and then you're basing your decisions based on what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is deciding for you, a man that is a prisoner. Mazi Nnamdi Simon Ekpa, Mazi Simon Ekpa, a man that is a prisoner that went to prison for Biafra, and they are in prison now. They are not free men. They are not working with their ability to do anything for themselves. They are chained down. For those of you that are free people, and then you are basing your policies, you're taking decisions based on what our leaders in prison say. This message of Nelson Mandela is actually applying to you. That you, that is a free man, taking message from Mazi Simon Nnamdi Kanu in prison, you are not worthy to lead the people. Because it's only a free man that can lead. It's only a free man that can make policies, that can change policies, that can decide something, and then it will happen, and then it will implement, and then it will apply. But not a prisoner who is chained down, who does not have freedom. So, if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu sends AI message to all of you, if Mazi Simon Ekpa sends AI message to all of you, and then you are using what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or Mazi Simon Ekpa being inside prison is telling you to decide what should be happening, is a prisoner, but you are the free man, and then you are using what a prisoner is telling you to do to now apply for those that are free here. It means you have mental problem. It means you cannot lead the people. Yes. Now, if Ejimako, if Kanu Ntakano, hey, oh my God, gives you message to come and read to Biafrans, and they say it is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that give you, and then you are changing your policy as a free man, you are changing your policy based on what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or Mazi Simon Ekpa, a prisoner, is telling you, who is not free, then you are changing your policy and making your decisions based on what they are sending to you. It means you are not with your right senses. You cannot lead yourself. Talk less of to lead other people. Yes. Because if you don't have the spirit of discernment and understanding, why will you be reading even if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Simon Ekpa sends message to, do you people know how many messages Mazi Simon Ekpa sends to me? When I told you people that I am not taking message, I'm not applying them from inside prison, do you people know what it means? I have received several messages from Mazi Simon Ekpa. Both the one that I have meeting with him direct and the one that he just sent to me. And I replied, Mazi PM Simon Ekpa, you are in prison. You don't know what is happening here now. Just focus there. Let us do what we are doing until we get you out. Because the ground and the temple is not like you left it. When you left it, The people that gathered around you, they became demons. They sprouted out, and then they decided to destroy the house and to destroy the foundation. They worked so hard to divide both the BDF, the finance, and BRGI cabinet, and even the de facto cabinet, and even the Biafran people. They worked so hard to destroy many people and many things. And so we are working hard to make sure the mandate that we have, the original structure that we have, and where we are going is not truncated. You will not understand because you are not here. So focus on your case there. Let us see how we intensify the fight in Washington, D.C. and in the homeland so that this will catapult to your freedom. And he understands with me. And more message comes, and I still give the same reply. Our PM Simon Ekpa knows. Our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S knows that what we are doing in Washington, D.C. and what we are doing in the homeland is what will bring them out. And they expect to see our formidability and our focus. Because everything that happened when they were here, when one of them was kidnapped and imprisoned, and then the other took over, is a repetition. Because this thing evolves around, and you see it. Everything that was happening when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S was kidnapped and locked up, then Mazi Simon Ekpa came up. Then we started autopilot. We went through hell. There was scatter house. And then later, there was even division of the ESN. How many of you remember? There was division of the ESN. Those that we were working together, they later started fighting us. How many of you remember Madam Oyibo? How many of you remember Madam Nelly? How many of you remember that there was a time Butuzo's name was marked for elimination? You all remember? How many of you remember that there was fight amongst all the Umuadas against Simon? How many of you remember that there was when photo and video of Nelly was shared on the media? How many of you remember that Nzima was here with us? How many of you remember that Faith Okala was here with us? And Uwazobia? How many of you remember that we had Okonkwo with us? We also had King Juan David. How many of you remember we also had Anibet Juliet? How many of you remember that we had a man living dead stone? How many of you remember that we had what is the other one in Ghana? We had many people. There was in-fight and out-fight. They fought, they brought secret information out. They even brought document that has to do with BDF, secret conversations. They brought secret meeting that Simon was having with some Biafrans in the homeland. They sabotaged left, right, center from inside out. So it is a repetition of what is happening here today. Alenora Okoro was also here. And they gave her a series of names. Today, do you see Alenora Okoro? That is the reason why she jumped and disappeared. And that is why I am making this announcement. I made it in the town hall meeting and in the fundraising. No Biafran is permitted to go and use any other Biafran that was serving in the BRGIA cabinet, whether a rep or admin or any department that that person was serving. When that person is no more there, the government has made changes. No Biafran, no media team personnel, no minister should go online to use that person to do broadcast. Yes, leave the person alone. This government of PM Nkere is not going to repeat the same mistakes of the past. We are not going to make enemies with any Biafran who is relieved of his or her duty in office. No. We are at peace with everybody. We don't have problems with you. You are relieved of your duty. Nobody should use you to do broadcasts on the social media. Your services for Biafra is appreciated. It was your money and your time that you've been using for Biafra under BRUGI. If you so say you don't want to use it again for BRUGI, so be it. It is not by force. We don't force you. And no Biafran should go and use it as a topic to use that person for social media broadcast or use it as public discussion in any platform. Media team, anywhere somebody brought or brings up such, bring the person down. Yes, we are not here to discuss people. We are not here to make our fellow comrades topic because they are no more supporting or fighting alongside in the same government with you. No, they have their personal choices. It is their money that they use for Biafra, not my money. And whatever they decide to do with their money is their own business. Before, when I did not join Biafra, many people were fighting for the Biafran freedom. My money was not counting. My sacrifice was not counting. My face was not counting. Did it stop them to go to the height that they went? No, it did not stop them. Until I joined. And if I decide to resign tomorrow and leave, will it stop this Biafra from going forward? No. Will it stop BRUGI? No. Will it stop BDF? No. Will it stop the de facto government? No. It will make them to even go higher. Because maybe there is something I was not doing well in a particular place that some other person will come to do it better. That is why no leader is the most indispensable. No person is the most indispensable in this Biafra freedom. Not me, not my PM, and not even the supreme leader. That is why even when you try to make use of our supreme leader's voice or write a script or even send you, they say, let us go and meet our supreme leader or even our eternal leader. If they like, let them go and wake our eternal leader up, or they should go and wake the former president of Biafra, Philip Effiong. They should go and wake these people up and use their voice and use their faces to come and speak to us. Mbano, we don't take orders from our leaders that are in chains because they are prisoners. We only take orders from them when they are free men. That is why I said Nelson Mandela's message is only applicable to free men, free leaders, not leaders that are prisoners. No. So Biafrans are forbidden for using your fellow Biafran who was with you in government of BRG or de facto. When they resign with their reasons. Don't go and use them for broadcast. If it happened before, it is not going to happen again. Let them do what they like. Until the day you see them coming to start attacking the template of BRG, that is when they have made themselves public enemy. When they have made themselves public enemy of BRGI, public enemy of BDF, public enemy of the de facto government, that is when we will engage them. For as far as they don't make themselves, allow them to be. Let them make do with whatever they want to do with their money. It's not my money, it's not your money, it's their own money. So that any day that they want to come back, they will know that they don't have enemy. They can come back and then join the government and continue what they want to do. So we are not here to make enemies. It may have happened before. It may have happened before. And that is why many of those that left before are having gold feet of coming back. Because after they had disagreement and they left the government, they were now made public enemies and topic of the day and topic of the month. So when they are trying to come back, they will be looking at how my name was made public outcry, how they dented my name and turned my name upside down, how I was destroyed. And some of them will vow never to have anything. Some of them will rather vow to go and join the enemies to fight Biafra to destroy Biafra. Because there is something that you do to somebody, how you injure somebody's heart, and the person cannot forgive you. It's not everybody that have this signs or the heart of forgiveness. So focus on the template of BRG and what BRG are doing, what BDF are doing, and what the de facto are doing. Bring the result forward. Convince other people to come and join. Because I did not join from the beginning. I joined halfway. The same way other people join halfway, the same way other people will also back out halfway. While the same way other people will go to the finishing line. So Nelson Mandela's message applies only to you and I, who is a free man now, who is fighting from the precept or from the template or from the legacy that was laid down on ground. Okay? That was laid down on ground. Are you getting the point? If you are a free man and you are taking order from our leaders inside prison, and you come to interpret, you don't rationalize it, you don't look at it. I tell you, I get same message from our leaders in prison. So if I am so stupid, that means every message that I will get from our leaders from prison, which I know if I apply, it will not work for us now, because the situation we are in now is different, because they are in prison. They don't know what is happening here. If I apply all of them, that means this government of Biafra would have fallen long time ago. No, that is why you need to work with your brain. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S said, it is time for those of you that are free to use your brain to persevere, to think and decide and put your brains in gear, to decide what you have to do and how you have to fight on. Yes, that he is not the one that needs to decide for you from inside prison. No, it's you. It's you that have to decide what needs to happen. So when you get message, rationalize the message. Because there is how you come and deliver message, then you make mockery of yourself. And Biafrans will just be looking at you and say whether your brain is still working, or whether you have been bought over, or whether you are already destroyed. These are the things that Biafrans will be asking. These are the things Biafrans will be asking. What they are saying, are they talking with their real senses? Or have they been bought over? Or they have problem in their head? Or what is actually going on? These are questions that Biafrans will be asking you. Because they will say, hey, we are the one carrying out the sit at home. We are the one that is closing our shops. It is not you that is coming to make the announcement that is closing your shop. It is not you that is sacrificing the Monday for Biafra. It is not you that Soludo is pursuing. It is we that Soludo is pursuing, and then we decide to remain formidable. Why are you coming to sabotage our process by coming to pronounce nonsense on the social media? Do you know how it hurts Biafran people and how it hurts us? These are the questions that Biafrans will be asking themselves when they see you come to make such such announcement. In Kwara community, over 320 something people were massacred. I want to ask you, if the people of Kwara community were told to sit at home for 3 months to save the life of 320 something people, will they gladly sit at home? The answer is yes. Will they prefer to shut down their market and stay away from their farms and sit at home for over 6 months so that they will not lose 326 people overnight? Will they gladly do it? Yes, they will gladly do it. Biafrans are not losing anything when they sit at home on Monday. Yes. Biafrans are not losing anything when they sit at home on Monday, because they understand that they are working for themselves and they are the one making Nigeria to gain. Listen very well, oh. Biafrans don't lose anything any day that they sit at home. Whether the one that is pronounced by the de facto government, like 2-3 days sit at home, or the Monday Biafra Freedom Day. Yes, at this point, everybody need to understand. The Monday sit at home is code name now. PM announced it when he spoke earlier today. The Monday sit at home is hereby code named Biafra Freedom Day. That is how every Biafran should code name the Monday sit at home now. Biafra Freedom Day. And anytime there is sit at home, that is the code name for any sit at home for Biafra. Biafra Freedom Day. Hashtag Biafra Freedom Day. Just like you have hashtag Monday sit at home. So any day of sit at home is hashtag Biafra Freedom Day. Ghost town. Lockdown everywhere. Biafrans are not losing a dime, any day that they sit at home. That is why they gladly uphold this sit at home, because they understand that it is part of the template for their own freedom. Yes, they understand it is part of the template for their own freedom. So Biafrans don't lose anything any day that they sit at home. The only people that lose is Nigerian government. That is why we use it as a strangulation process on Nigerian economy. It is part of the delegitimization process, to delegitimize them, to show the world that they are not in charge of Biafra, to show the world our readiness for Biafra independence, Biafra restoration and recognition, to show the world our stand and formidability, to tell the world that we have taken a stand, to tell the world that there is a demarcation between the Nigerian terrorist government representatives in Biafra land and the people. The people of Biafra have spoken and have taken a stand. It is not Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S that take the stand for them. It is not Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S that take the stand for them. These are the things we need to start correcting. It is the Biafran people that take the stand. They only appointed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S and Mazi Nnamdi to lead them, just like they have appointed Mazi Okenkere to lead them. But they are taking their responsibilities in their hands. So Biafran people don't lose a dime any day they observe sit at home, because they are using it as a tool against Nigeria. So it is only Nigeria that feel the pain and cry about it on those days when Biafrans used that weapon against them. And that is why you see them crying. Do you know why Biafrans don't lose anything? Because if Biafrans don't work, if they don't go and trade, if they don't go and make the money, they will not pay the tax to Nigerian government. Nigerian government will not receive tax from them and will not generate money, will not generate revenue that day. So you see that the sustainability of Nigeria, the livelihood of Nigeria, for Nigeria to be alive, Nigeria is depending on Biafrans opening their market every day, doing business every day, trading every day. So it's like you are robbing Peter to pay Paul. So they rob Biafran people to pay themselves. And when Biafran people say, no, you cannot rob me anyhow, they start crying. That is why you see them crying about the sit-at-home. You hear them tell you that they lose trillions of naira on the Monday sit-at-home. It is true, they may lose. But the question is, what have they been using that trillions of naira to do for Biafra people for over 60 years now? Since they make such trillions of naira on every Monday calculated in a month. What have they been using such money to do for Biafran people for over 60 years? Which has culminated into us sparking up again for the same Biafra, which we spark up in 1967 to 70s. That means there is criminality. They pronounce the money that they tell you they generate from us paying tax to them on Mondays. But they cannot tell us what they have been doing with this money to better our lives, which will not have warranted us to come out to ask for Biafra again. Because if they were using such amount of money to develop Biafra people land, to give them enabling environment, to put every facilities on ground, tell me why Biafrans will be asking for independence and separate nation. No, we will not have any reason for it. But because there is criminality, there is corruption, there is terrorism, there is insecurity, they are working only to one end for their own benefit, not for our own benefit. That is why Biafran people say enough is enough. So Biafran people, only when they sell, market, and work, they pay the tax to Nigerian government. Nigerian government now generates money from them, from the roadblock, from the market, from every tax that they implement against us. And then we pay without even asking why. Because they set up a system that when you ask why, they will implicate you. So we have been living like slaves. So we are not losing a dime when we don't work on these Mondays or any sit-at-home day. We don't lose anything. They are the ones losing. That is why they are crying.
Will make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And you can, if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead.
Are you all understanding the fact here? Please, those people you see on the comment section writing nonsense, leave them. These are the incoherent ones that have become like almajiris. Their only work that they give them is to come to the comment section and write nonsense. I don't want anybody to love me or like me, but only take the message. You see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, many of you did not like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Yes. But you like his message because he delivers the message that is saving Nigerians today. So forget the messenger, but take the message, okay? So ignore those people in the comment section. Mhm. There is no amount of somebody using his or her platform to destroy uh, Biafra or destroy the Biafran leaders that can stop Biafra. No. They have said series of heel words and utterances against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa, and even me, and the PM Nkere. It's not today that it started. It has existed long before now. I've been saying it severally, that when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, and then we were making sure ESN does not grumble, calling on all Biafrans to go and support ESN. The people that we were working all together with as autopilot, they said, Mazi Simon Ekpa, you collected money from Nigeria to imprison Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And then we called for a meeting. And the meeting lasted for over 4 hours. We probed them, just produce the evidence of the money we collected. They could not produce the money. Later, they say, oh, they got it as a vision. So your vision is a vision that you come and just lie. So propaganda will fly, but always gather your facts and figures and evidences. It's not just to come to the media and be backing, wow, 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 and write all sorts of nonsense on the media. I jumped into TikTok the other day, and I saw some people hosting programs. And then they dragged me in, because I don't just go. I will only stay and listen to what people are saying. If it is the right thing, I will hit the like button, or I will put a gift on the TikTok, this thing for you, to encourage you. When I see that you are doing nonsense, I will walk past you. Because there are some people that knows what they are doing, and they're actually doing it because they know when they talk heel and do nonsense and tell lies, they will garner more audience. Yes, because truth at times does not give you more audience, but lies and propaganda and slander will give you more audience. So when I see some people that are useless, I walk past. But when I see those that can be redeemed, I try to redeem them. So I was walking past, so they dragged me in. They say, may they ask me a question. Now I say, make I address them now. I asked them one question. What is it that is your problem with Sonny or with Nkere or with BRJIE? Give me the evidence.
You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And you can, if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And you can, if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And you can, if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you...
So I asked a question and said, why are you people using this platform to do sabotage and blackmail on BDF, BRJI, and the PM Kere and Sonny just to blackmail and destroy the minds of people. They say, because Mazi Nnamdi condemn Sonny and condemn Mokenkere, condemn BRJ. And then he said, Honorable Fulani is the right person fighting for Biafra. I laugh. The next thing, they say, because they have another evidence that we collected money from Enugu state governor. And it is the money that we collected that me and Okenkere, we collected money from Enugu state governor. We collected the money, we put it in Biafra account, then we use it now to sabotage PM Simon Ekpa. That is the reason why PM Simon Ekpa is inside prison. Then I asked them a question. I say, can you give me any evidence from where or which video where you had Mazi Simon Ekpa pronounce that he has any problem with BRGI? I ask again, can you give me the evidence of that transaction slip? The one that Enugu State Governor transferred the money to Sonny and Nkere. And the one, the bank account where we received the money. Can you just give us only this, that, give us the bank account number we received the money into, give us the bank account number from where the money left, give us the transaction ID so that we can use it to confirm from the system and everybody can go and search and get it. When I ask for this evidence, they say, that is what we are told by Ngozi. I say, is it what you are told by Ngozi? Or it is what you have as evidence and you are using it to destroy the minds of people? So you don't have any evidence of what you're saying, but you only heard Ngozi say it. Then Ngozi, you did not ask Ngozi to give you the evidence so that you can present to us the bank statement from where we collected money from Pitamba, how the money left Nigerian account, and the intermediary bank in Europe or Africa or America or UK before it now gets to the final bank account, which belongs to us, which we now share the money. Sonny shared the money with Nkere. And then they use it, they use the bank movement to now go and submit to Finland. They say we use the bank movement to go and submit to Finland, to use it to sabotage PM Simon Ekpa. So I asked for this evidence. And they said they only hear it from Ngozi, but they cannot give any evidence. I said, oh, so this is what you people use this platform to do. From morning to night, you only come here to do propaganda, blackmail, and slander, only with no evidence. I now say, okay, do you want to know any evidence of why we say Ngozi is sabotaging Biafra? He said, yes. I said, okay, let me give you one. Ngozi said your Biafra Defense Forces are kidnappers, fraudsters, and fraudulent. They're not fighting for Biafra, so they don't represent Biafra people. So she's going to form an army. Is that not sabotaging enough? They say, yes. So I said, okay. Now, your Biafra ID card, the Biafra database system, information that are inside the Biafra database system, she printed it and brought it and then put somebody's ID card in the social media. I asked them, you are in Nigeria, right? They say, yes. I say, in Nigeria, as corrupt as Nigeria is, has Nigerian government one day printed your ID card or your national or your passport or even your voter's card or even your NIN or BVN? Have they printed it one day to go and put it inside the social media Do you know what it means to you? Because anybody can use that information to destroy you. And when you are signing up for this ID card, Biafra Republic Government in Exile gave you a guarantee or assurance or confidence that you are signing a contract of confidentiality with your information, and that with that information, that BRGI is coming into a contract with you that they can never expose your private information to the social media or to a third party without your permission. Now, by bringing this information to the social media, have you breached the Confidentiality Act? Have you ever seen that the immigration office of a country, because somebody is working in the immigration office, he now go and bring one citizen's ID card information or one citizen's passport information or one citizen's security code and come and push it to the media? Have you ever seen that happen in America? Have you ever seen that happen by the FBI? Have you ever seen that happen by the US Justice Department? Have you ever seen that happen by Nigeria DSS? Now, Nigerian DSS, they have held Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S for years. They have held Showore for years. Have you ever seen them or any of the people that they abduct and they put in prison and call them criminals? Or any of the politicians, have you ever seen that they print or they posted their ID card or their national passport or their account number or their social security number or their BVN or their NIN? Have you ever seen that they post their informations on social media? I asked a question. They said no. Then I asked, so why are you supporting somebody that you see that is working to destroy your identity? Did you hear what he said? He said, everybody knows that Orabo Fulani is the one they want. I said, okay. You see, these are the class of people that you understand that they know the truth. But because they see that this person is working to destroy the template of Biafra, they have to support that person because they want everything to be destroyed. That's why I said before, I said there are some people that had disagreement and they were hot in this Biafra. And because of the way we treated their matter and turned it to personal hatred and social media saga, they can go and join the enemies and work very hard to destroy Biafra with everything in their blood. So, when you leave Biafran government or de facto or defense, don't take it personal with anybody. And the government, which I am still inside here now, except tomorrow I am no more here, I will not allow this government to take it personal with you. Except you go and become a prime enemy to come out and start fighting our template. That is when I will tell the media team to descend on you. They will shred you to pieces. But as far as you go and you focus on your personal self, the government will not come and use you as rag to clean hand in the public. Because I'm not here to make sure you become enemy. No. You are to go with your own self. So that if I see you tomorrow along the road, I can gladly shake you and even kiss you. I can gladly sit down with you and drink and eat food, not to be afraid that you will poison me because we had disagreement in Biafran government. No, I don't want that kind of enmity. If it has happened before in the past administration, no, not now. We are not here for that kind of enmity. And some of you will be shocked that someday, when I visit some places, I may see some of you that is attacking this BRJ. Then you claim to be on the side of those that are working to destroy BRJ and BDF. I will gladly shake you so that you will know that I am not an enemy to you. That we differ in our ideologies and our beliefs does not mean that if I see you, I will not shake you. I will shake you. And that will humble you so that you will understand that life is not all about saga. Uh-huh. If you finish do saga in the media, come down to reality. The reality of life is what life is all about. Not all this thing that you're doing on the media with saga. The people that are using their blood to die for Biafra, the people that are using their hard-earned money, when I mean money, I mean big money. I don't mean small money. You don't see them make noise too much. They are the one carrying the biggest cross of Biafra. They don't make noise too much. But some of you that don't sacrifice so much are the ones making noise everywhere. So, like I said, when you go to some platforms, they just want to support those that they know are working to destroy Biafra. Now, when this AI video of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S came out, whether yesterday or the day before from BDF, I believe you all saw how they were sharing the video. Yes, because they wanted to share it to their advantage. Nigerian media shared the video, they printed it, they made publications, and they push it all over the place because they want it to suit their own narrative. That is why we need to have our radio. That is why we are revamping our communication network. That is why we had the town hall meeting on Sunday. Emergency for radio, television, and satellite communication network. Because Nigerian terrorist government will only carry the news that favors them, that works to their own advantage. They will escalate it. I want to ask you now, after Nigerian news carried the AI message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S version of 2026, then today, they saw that Biafran people, with our continuity and encouragement to Biafran people, since after that message came out, we continue to press on to encourage Biafrans to ignore orders from prison, because our leaders are prisoners to Nigeria and they are not free men. They cannot give us order now for us to take because they are not free. We persisted and continue to encourage Biafrans. You have to continue on your freedom. I want to ask a question. After they saw that Biafrans today continued on their Biafra, that the voice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the voice of Mazi Nnamdi cannot stop them from going forward. After they saw that Biafrans shut down the same market, shut down Ekulobia, even the village of Soludo, they shut it down. After they saw that Biafrans carried out sit at home, which is voluntary, which is inbuilt in their heart, is their sacrifice for Biafra. After they saw that Biafrans carried out the sit at home today, have you seen them portray the positive result of the sit at home today? No. Have you seen Kanu Ntakanu portray the positive result of the sit at home today? No. Have you seen Ejimako portray the positive result of the sit at home today? No. Have you seen Kanu Emmanuel Meme? Have you seen Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S wife? Have you seen DOS? Have you seen all these useless people? Have you seen Nigerian media? Have you seen Nigerian government portray the positive result of the sit at home today? No, you cannot see them. Because they have to sieve the information. They have to sieve and filter the reportage. They have to only bring up something that will be advantageous to them because they are working to destroy you. So it is incumbent on you to build your own platform and to build your medium of communication and to build your people's mental psyche to put them up and for them to remain very strong. That is why they will not tell your story for you. Nigeria will not tell your story positively. They will tell it negatively to their own favor. You are the one to tell your story. Tinubu's wife was on Fox News Digital. I want people to understand. Fox News USA is different from Fox News Digital. Fox News Digital is maybe one of those Fox News channels there. Some of the top news channels in America, they refuse Tinubu. they refuse Tinubu. They refused Tinubu's wife interview because they said they don't want her to use their platform to continue to debunk the Christian genocide because they are all denial culture in nature. All the leaders of Nigeria, America already knows them because we have laid a very good precedence for American lawmakers to understand them. That is why Michael Rubin said that Biafran people in the U.S. congressional briefing that we had on the 18th of September, he encouraged the BRGI to continue to educate the U.S. lawmakers. He said, it is incumbent on the BRGI to continue to educate the U.S. lawmakers on everything about Nigeria because Nigeria have been telling lies upon lies upon lies. So we continue to educate. That is why you see our lobbyists and attorney and PM having meetings with the U.S. lawmakers every time. It is to educate them and inform them of what is happening and policies that we want to be brought to the table for Biafran people. If we don't educate them, they will not know Nigeria very well and their leaders. Because every time they will go and hire lobbyists and pay big money and give to that lobbyist. And that lobbyist will go and give them the fake version of Nigeria. So we have to educate the lawmakers of America so that they know what Nigeria is actually made of. Because they are the demon incarnate that you can never think of. So we continue to educate them. She was asked, Tinubu's wife was asked on Fox News digital channel. They asked her a question. How did you see the fate of the bombing of the Nigerian terrorists by the U.S. Department of War? He said she is happy that it was a blessing and it was a gift, like Donald Trump said. So it was a blessing to the Nigerian Christians. Why did she have to say so? Because the chairman of the House of Foreign Affairs on Religious Matters have already slammed her that she is coming with the lobbying money that they paid to come and do what? To come and do more blackmail and propaganda and more lies. And that the American lawmakers are not unaware of their lies. That it has become a culture for them to always come and pay lobbyists to come and lie and deceive them. That they know the truth. And then our PM also made message where he addressed her, exposing her the more. So all these lawmakers have been educated. So after she saw that I shame too much, that is why when she was asked in that news channel, she now said, oh, she is happy that it was a blessing to Nigerians and that she wants more of the bombing to come. That word alone that she said there, Nigerian terrorist caliphate, they will come after her. They will come after the husband in Nigeria. And then another question was posed to her. They asked her, how do you see the Biafran separatist movement that are adding up the fight for the breakup of Nigeria because of the genocide of the jihadist terrorists? She skipped that question. She could not answer it. She ran away. She now started talking about politics. She started talking about what the government is doing, how they have recruited more army personnel, how they have recruited more police, more Air Force and more Navy, and more forest guard to go after the terrorists. Then you should ask this woman, how many people have the terrorists killed? How many Christians have they killed since after the 25th of December bombing? What has your husband done since that day? You see, then you will understand that these people don't even understand what covenant is all about. She is there addressing the husband as husband, while you claim that you are being uh, acknowledged by the president of America as the first lady of Nigeria. But you are addressing your husband as husband when you're talking to the entire world. You forget that you are addressing the president of Nigeria. Why didn't President Donald Trump address you as wife of Tinubu? No, he did not address you as wife of Tinubu. He addressed you as the first lady of Nigeria. But when you now started addressing or responding and relating to the president of Nigeria, you were now saying, my husband, my husband, my husband. So you get to understand that these people don't understand where they are. They don't understand the stage where they are. They are still living in that denial and that mundane nature where they think that it is family business. You're addressing a president of a country, and that is where you're now bringing my husband, my wife, my husband, my wife. You will always hear the president of America say, the first lady of America. The first lady. You will not be hearing him be coming to pronounce wife, wife, wife there. No, because you are talking on official background. These ones now, say in Nigeria, everybody will get into power. They want to show that it's their husband and their wife that is in charge. Same thing that some of you want to do in Biafra. But we are going to stop this useless mentality. So today's message was just centered on making people to understand that you now know and understand that the voice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as a prisoner inside prison, from prison, who is not a free man, or the voice of Mazi Simon Ekpa, or the voice of Ojukwu, or the voice of Philip Effiong, or the voice of Biafra Defense Forces, whether dead or alive, it cannot stop Biafra when you use their voices to come and pronounce that you are stopping Biafra or you're stopping sit at home. No, it cannot stop Biafra because they are not talking as free men and women. They are talking as prisoners. So we only take what they say when they are free and when we see them talking as free people. Because when you listen to messages that they spoke when they were free, is different from the mental capacity of the messages that is coming from them when they are prisoners. So you understand that any man that changes his or her policy, or any woman, because of the situation they find his or herself, is not worthy to be a leader. It is not applicable. Everybody should listen up. It is not applicable to a prisoner. It is only applicable to a free man, a man that is walking free. Like Nelson Mandela was saying it, he was talking as a free man when he was saying it. Same here. When he was speaking, was he in prison? Was he chained down when he was saying this thing? No, he's not talking from inside prison. He's talking here comfortably, seated on this chair. That means he's a free man. So this quote is applicable to a free man. And it is not applicable to a prisoner. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a prisoner. Mazi Simon Ekpa is a prisoner that is held against their wish because of Biafra. So any decision or any message that is coming from them, that is changing policies of what we are doing. That is why we are not taking such orders, because it cannot apply. It cannot be a policy that will change what we are doing, because they are not free people. They are prisoners held in prison against their will because of Biafra. This is one thing you need to understand. So tell Demo, tell Soludo, tell Kanunta, tell Jimako, tell Michael Okpara, tell Nnameka Ejiofor, tell Emmanuel Kanu, tell Kanu Nta, tell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S wife, tell all the politicians that they are working with together, which they went to go and bring that script and gave it to BDF to read, thinking that when they will use BDF to pronounce it, that it will have effect. No, it will not have effect. Because BDF, they are working on the mandate of the people. If the people see that they are giving them the wrong message, they will reject the message. Can you see? I want to ask people a question. When I don't see as the army that is defending the people. Come, see, I love one thing about this Biafra. Honestly, there's one thing I love about this Biafra. As high and sacred and emotional as and sacrificing as your office is or your department is in this Biafra, when you give Biafran people a message that does not tally, when you give Biafran people a message that does not tally with the template of the Biafran freedom, they will not take that message. The God of Biafra will use their brain to discern on what they need to do. So it is to make you understand that Biafra is coordinated by the spirit of Chukwu Okike. Yes. I can be used to deliver a message that is not a line. And then it will take the Biafran spirit to control the spheres of Biafra and to decide what happens next. How many of you had believed that if 2026 version of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S message, 2026 AI version of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S message is coming to Biafran people while he is in prison, where they have sentenced him to death. They have sentenced him to life imprisonment. The message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is coming to Biafran people. And then it is not coming through the PM. It is not coming through the DOS. It is not coming through Kanu Ntakanu. It is not coming through Aloy Jimako or Nnameka Ejiofor or Michael Okpara. It is coming through the BDF. How many of you had believed that Biafrans will reject that message? How many of you had believed that Biafrans will reject that message? You see? So this is to tell you that Biafra is beyond even the BDF. Yes, it's beyond Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It's beyond me, it's beyond my PM. It's beyond the cabinet. It's beyond everybody. But it is above all of us. And there is no how you can stop Biafra using our leader's voice from inside prison. It cannot stop. Stopping the sit at home simply means stop Biafra. That is what you need to understand. Stopping sit at home means stop Biafra. Stopping sit at home means stop Biafra. That is what it means. When they wanted to stop Wazirike, they use stop sit at home. I want to remind all of you, when they wanted to use and stop Wazirike and stop Biafra, they started by stop sit at home. That was the beginning. They now stop sit at home. From stopping sit at home, they now started stopping the commanders that were working when Wazirike was piloting Biafra. From the commanders that they stopped, those that succumbed and laid down their arms, they went in peace. Those that did not want to lay down their arms, they killed them. Then they captured the last man standing. They took that one to prison. Before this time, before this time, they have already used strategy to stop sit at home. So when they have stopped sit at home, nobody remembers Wazirike again. Nobody remembers Biafra again. Because you use a strategy to stop sit at home. When you stop sit at home, it means there is no more noise for Biafra again. There is no more flag waving for Biafra again. Nobody will talk about Biafra. Everybody will now, when you ask them, are you still doing Biafra? You say, Wazirike is no more there again. The commanders of Mazob are no more there. So there's no Biafra again. Because you have stopped the sit at home. The sit at home awakes and resonates the spirit and keeps the tempo on and shows your control over Nigeria in Biafra territory. But by the time you stop the sit at home, that is how they started it. They stopped sit at home first. Later, they go after all the commanders of Wazirike. They took them down one after another. Then they took the last man standing and went to prison to meet Wazirike and tell him this is the last man standing. Wazirike asked them, is there still Biafrans asking for Biafra? They said no, because they have done what? They have stopped sit at home. They have stopped protests. They have stopped talking about Biafra because we use a strategy to stop them. So by the time you now stop sit at home, you are stopping Biafra. I want everybody to understand this. Stopping sit at home means stopping Biafra. When you stop sit at home, you stop Biafra. So when you see them going to use Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S 2026 version of AI voice, and then they send the message to come through the BDF, it is the same strategy that they use when they stop Biafra under Wazirike. Are you getting the point? It is the same strategy that they stop Biafra under Wazirike. Okay? It is the same strategy that they did to stop Biafra under Wazirike. So, you will see this thing happen. If you fall for it, you are gone. If you fall for it, you are gone. And that will be the end of Biafra. That will be the end of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They will kill him inside prison. Nobody will remember him again. The governors will turn him to furniture. The politicians will turn him to furniture. Any of them will now, they will turn him to a monument. They will turn him to a monument. They will now say that the Sokoto prison is open for anybody that want to go and visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So all of you will only be going there to visit him. You visit, you come back. Visit, you come back. Then move forward, you don't move for Biafra. Come backward, you don't come. At the end of the day, you will be signing for a plea to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And they will release him when you all stop sit at home. Because by that time, you have denounced Biafra. And when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu sees that there is no more sit at home going on, there is no more Biafra Liberation Army fighting for Biafra, there is nobody waving the flag both home and abroad, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu too will hands off. Yes, he will hands off on Biafra. That is what will happen. Because you can't be fighting for people that have abandoned their weapons and say they don't want Biafra again. And when you ask, are the BDF still fighting for Biafra? They say no, they have all gone their way. They are now working as a Bubagu with a Soludo. They are now working as a Operation Udokachi. They are now working as Nigerian Army personnel. They have joined Nigeria. You will be asking That means there is no more man that is standing for Biafra. They tell you, yes, you are on your own. What will happen then? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will say, okay, let me walk out now. You people should allow me. Let me denounce that I don't want Biafra again, because the people that I'm fighting for have unanimously said they don't want Biafra again. But we are telling you, if you want Biafra, if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu says he doesn't want to fight on again, you have to continue if you want Biafra. But if you don't want Biafra, tell us now. Don't waste our time. If you don't want Biafra, tell us now, so that we will allow all the Boko Haram terrorists that are killing people in the far north, that are killing people in Middle Belt, we will allow them to come into Biafra land and slaughter everybody once and for all, so that we know that the Fulani terrorists have overrun us. Then you continue to remain slaves forever. America will not come and fight for you. Not UK, not Europe, not all these world powers. No. Are you the one that went to fight the terrorists for them in their own countries? No. They fought for themselves. They fought to make America great and to make all their countries great, which you all want to go and visit them today. So, it is not them that have to come and do it for you. It is you that have to do it yourself.
Open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And you can, if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think?
Cecilia 4597. I see what you write here on the comment section. So, is this what you need to worry yourself with, or to make it to become a topic? When you have your government that is doing something and you see results, and then you say somebody is writing on Twitter that Mazi Nnamdi should develop another government from inside prison and then set a new structure and then be ruling from inside prison. Is that why you are worried, Cecilia? Is that why you are worried? If the person say that Mazi Nnamdi should set a government from inside prison and become prime minister from inside prison, allow the person to write what he or she is writing down. How is that a problem? I have told you guys that anybody that is making any announcement now, or writing anything in the media, or pronouncing anything, and is using the name of Prime Minister Simon Ekpa and Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and saying Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say, Prime Minister Simon Ekpa say, or he say we should do this, he say, they are causing more problem for him. So, what I will not do is to even make that thing that they are saying to trend, because I will be amplifying the voice of that thing. To allow it to quench, I will just allow the thing to die off in their idiosyncrasy, instead of me to come and make it to trend. Yes, because I have won and won and won and won. When you come out and say, Mazi Simon Ekpa is setting up this, is setting up this, that means you're telling the world that he is inside prison, and then he is ruling Biafrans from inside prison. That everything, every atrocity, both good and bad, or anything that is happening here now, that he is doing it from inside prison, that means he is committing more crime from inside prison. That means he is to be held accountable for every crime that is being committed by any structure that he is setting up from inside prison. Just like this video that BDF delivered yesterday or 2 days ago, which I call it the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu AI version of 2026. That is how I will brandish that video. When I want to post it out, I will put it there. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu AI version message of 2026. Because using that kind of message to pronounce online that it is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you are causing more problem for him. You are telling the world that he is the one commanding you and sending you to do what you're doing. You're telling the world that he is the one giving you order. That everything that you are doing here, that is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that is commanding you. That your funding of everything you're doing, that is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that is funding you, that is giving you the money. That as you are being brutal to the enemies that are coming after you, that is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that is giving you the order and the go ahead. That is what you mean. So you are causing more problem for him. This is a man that is inside prison and he does not know what you are doing. He does not know that you now have BDF. He only knew that there was ESN. And since the day he was in prison, he doesn't know anything that ESN is doing. And then you are coming to drag his name and put inside your pronouncement. You see? Okay. So, please, everybody should focus on things that will bring profit to the table. Not what anybody is doing that we should know is not going in line. Don't amplify what somebody is doing that you know is not going in line. Don't help the thing to trend. Don't push the message to go forward. Allow the message to die off. You see what is happening to the generational illiterate group and the Honorable Fulani Accountability Group. When they brought out their Taekwondo BDF, when they were doing like this, let me see if I can see this thing to show you again. When they brought out the Taekwondo BDF group that they brought, what happened? They used it to do their show. After they do the show, what happened? Where are those Taekwondo BDF group that they brought? Let me see. Let me see if we can see that Taekwondo BDF group. You just had to allow the Taekwondo BDF group to fizzle away. Today, can anybody even look for the Taekwondo BDF group, which Ngozi brought about? Ngozi BDF. Let me see if I can see it. I know the thing will be hard to find because it was a Taekwondo when they were coughing their hand upside down. Oh my God. So please make una focus. Everybody now knows today. Everybody now knows today that it is not Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or Mazi Simon Ekpa in prison. It is not Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or Mazi Simon Ekpa in prison. That his voice or anything can be used to stop Biafra. But it is only the freedom of Biafra that will take us out of Nigeria. So for those that are thinking that when they will use Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's name or his voice, or they write anything and come and read it and say he is the one. Because make una go get second thought too, because that will not stop the Biafran people. And it is not the Biafran people that will be carried away by any message that is coming. I can't find the Taekwondo. I can't find the Taekwondo army of Orabo Fulani. Okay, please, guys, we need to bring this program down now. We just thank Biafrans back home for what they are doing. And we thank Biafra Defense Forces for their sacrifices. And we thank the de facto government and BRJ and all Biafrans. Please understand that everybody are intact. The BDF are intact, the BRJ are intact, the de facto government are intact, and nothing maga. But all of you have seen that even if message is coming from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S or Mazi Nnamdi or BDF to tell us to stop Biafra, none of that message or that order from any of those sectors can stop Biafra. It is you as Biafrans that can stop Biafra, not our leaders in prison. So understand another thing, that if you want to stop Biafra now, it is you Biafrans that can stop Biafra. It is not even Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S nor Mazi Simon Ekpa. And if you want to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S now and Mazi Simon Ekpa, it is you. Yes. If you want to release them by getting Biafra, or if you want to release them by stopping Biafra, you can do any of it. How can you release them by stopping Biafra? When you all say you don't want Biafra again, and you want Nigeria to come and slaughter all of you, yes, you will now denounce Biafra. You will now denounce Biafra. When you denounce Biafra, then there will be no Biafra again. Nobody will protest for Biafra. Nobody will do sit at home. You will all say you don't want Biafra again. You're all going for Nigeria. Then Nigerian terrorists can come and slaughter all of you. Then Mazi Nnamdi Kanu'S, Mazi Simon Ekpa will say, the people I am fighting for say they don't want Biafra again. So release me. I'm not also fighting for Biafra again because I don't have people to fight for. They will release them. They will walk away because they have seen that the people they were fighting for say they don't want freedom anymore. That is, if you want them to be released and then you denounce Biafra. If you want them now to be released, then you get Biafra, or by getting Biafra is for you to intensify every effort. Yes, just like Biafrans are doing now in the homeland. And this is what is sparking us the more to make sure we restore our communication network. So that as they are being formidable like this, they can hear every messages that we are sending out there. And they can key in and walk in tandem and get the encouraging words and the ways and manners of what should be done. Yes. Because it takes a formidable people to drive the spirit forward. If they are not formidable, they will not be able to drive our spirit. They will not be able to drive the spirit of our leaders that are in prison to encourage them to continue to fight. Any day our leaders in prison hear that we have backed down, we have dropped the barrels, we have stopped doing everything, that day they are weakened. They will not have the courage to go forward again. So Biafrans are not cowards. Even if you were cowards in your first generation, not in this generation. Because the generation and the time we find ourselves now is the time that if we do any mistake, they will slaughter all of us. They will slaughter all of us. They will slaughter our babies, women, and children. And you can see what is happening in the far north. So it's nothing new. It is a template that has been spread out already, and we have to wake up. I salute all Biafrans, and I thank you all for joining. Please share this program and let it go and get to those that needs to listen. Our freedom is in our hands, and now everybody can understand that it is not Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, nor Mazi Simon Egba, nor the BDF that can stop Biafra. You can't stop Biafra by stopping sit at home, and you can't stop Biafra by even saying we should not do what we have to do. The Biafran people speak. The power belongs to the people, and not to the leaders. Power belongs to the people. Airborne to all Biafrans. And they will Umuchineke. And thank you for your sacrifice.
Anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And you can, if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us. We lost 5 million people. And you can, if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You would have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think